Hello and welcome to another episode of the SoFly podcast on location. We're on location at Lodge 88. We are in the ALGOMA country region. We are on Lake Esnagi, not to be confused with Lake Esnagami, which of course we went to twice before, but we are at Lodge 88 on Esnagi Lake in ALGOMA country in the beautiful north of Ontario. I'm sitting in a cabin with three really cool people that I got to spend some time with. Of course, I've got my fellow SoFly photographer to the stars, Aidas.
Hello.
And we've got a very special guest all the way from the West Coast, came in for just this trip and for no other reason. For no other reason at all. Yeah. We've got Joel Clifton on the show today. Joel Clifton, of course, is a fantastic photographer from British Columbia. Well, he's originally from Ontario, and we met several years ago, and Joel's been on a few projects of ours, taking amazing photos, and we're happy to have him on the show today, and even happier to have him on the trip with us. Welcome, Joel.
Thank you so much.
Hey, Joel.
Stoked to be here. Thanks for that little intro.
Oh, no problem. And then, of course, you just heard another voice, a fourth voice. That is the voice of Nick Kuchmek. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's the pronunciation?
You nailed it, man.
Oh, my God. Thank God.
Nice work.
Thank God.
That's really good.
Nick is also an amazing angler from Ontario. He takes banging photos, and he helped us out on a project last summer in Brennan Harbor, which is also an ALGOMA country trip. We had such a good time with him. And this actually all came about pretty last minute-y, so we were happy when we reached out to Nick, and he said, hey, I can come. And we're like, great. Because Yilma and Mitch could not be here because they were holding down the fort back in Toronto doing an event with Brown Girl Outdoor World and Men on the Move, which are two groups that are trying to get, break down barriers for racialized individuals in the outdoors. So Yilma, Mitch, thanks for holding down the fort because we're up here fishing.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
You mean we're working? This is work.
Oh, right. This is work.
This is a work trip.
Yeah, you're totally right.
Definitely doesn't feel like work.
Definitely doesn't feel like work. Anyway, welcome to the show, Nick.
Yeah, thanks,
Welcome,
Aldo.
Joel. Welcome, Aidas.
Thank you.
I think what we're going to do today is we're going to recap our trip and go over the awesome fishing we had and even the little travel we had. But first, cheers, guys. We're having some scotch.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah.
Cheers, gentlemen. Who's having root beer in their scotch?
I'm having root beer.
I'm having
Sociopath.
I trusted the bartender Aldo's recommendation of root beer and scotch. This is a new drink for me.
Not bad. Not great, but not bad.
Actually, I think it's delicious.
I think I'll do root beer on my next one.
Yeah,
See how it goes.
What's in yours?
Coke.
Oh, how's that?
You never had a whiskey and Coke before?
No,
I mean, he's had a couple, guys.
A couple.
You know what? It's not bad. I can't tell if it's mug root beer, which of course the internet will love. Seems to me everybody's memeing mug root beer these days.
Yeah, who doesn't love mug root beer?
Those who love bark.
True.
Bark's
Also good
it's the
root
root beer wars.
Barks has bite. Well, let's maybe so everybody listening at home, we're going to recap this trip, and but first and foremost, I want to thank ALGOMA Country. Rob LaRue over at ALGOMA put this trip together. And you know what? Actually, we were supposed to come up here last year. Terry, the awesome lodge manager here, we got connected with Terry through Rob. And, Terry and I had a few awesome phone calls. And COVID, the re-shutdown last year threw all of our plans for a loop. And so we couldn't come up here.
I didn't know
the
that.
world's plans, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
it definitely messed
definitely
up the
a
world.
theme.
Yeah. But it's a distant memory up here.
I think we might have to turn that.
Hear that at home?
Yeah, I think we might have to turn the fan off.
Are we going to have to do this in the dark or no?
No fan. Boof.
First
It's
try.
gonna be hot in here. It's gonna be hot in here.
You got a little
There's
sweat going there.
I know I'm beaten.
Yeah.
It's hot. It's hot up here in
warm.
northern Ontario. Okay, so yeah, that's a little background. We supposed to go on this trip last year. It didn't work out, unfortunately. But you know what? It came back on the table, kind of last minute-ish, sort of. And then we were able to throw this trip together. Joel just happened to be in the province and extended a trip.
Yeah.
So it was awesome to have him up. That was really fortunate. But yeah, let's back it up. How did we get here? What was going on? Where did we drive from? How did it all happen? Aidas, I picked you up at... Wait, no, Joel, you slept at my house.
I stayed at your house on your big comfy couch.
Mm-hmm.
We packed all the gear there.
Yep.
And yeah, we left it. We got up at 4 in the morning.
Yeah, we got up at 4.
Hit the road, picked Aidas up at 4:30.
Yep.
Grabbed some coffees, and then
Yep.
met Nick just after 5:30.
Nick, you were up in Barrie?
Yeah, I started in Barrie. My in-laws are in Barrie, so my family was dropped off at my in-laws. They were doing a little bit of babysitting duty along
Shout out
with
to
my
all of our
wife.
families.
Yes, thank you.
Respect. Thank you.
Accommodating family members
And our partners are very
our
understanding.
partners.
Yes.
Yes, wouldn't get to go fishing without them. They're super important. Yeah, and then we met at the car park there on the 400 before we were gonna head up. You guys were early. You guys made really great time, or you were just excited and driving
we
a
were
little
excited.
quick. I'm not
We were
sure,
hyped.
but
Yeah.
I had to get my stuff together as fast as possible, grab some coffees, meet you guys at the car park.
Yeah.
And it was no longer than like 3 minutes before Aidas dumped my coffee over.
Oh yeah.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
I'm not actually entirely sure it was Aidas. It might
No,
have
it was.
just
It was
I
not
saw it. It
100%.
was definitely-
Yep.
yeah.
I'm
It was
not sure,
definitely me.
but we did lose. We did.
It's a black fly in my drink.
Oh, that's okay. It's
Consume
just, protein.
Now
We
you're too close.
Consume it.
Now you're too far.
Consume it.
Sorry, here I'm just gonna flag this. Like, you got to pick a volume. You can't shout into the thing.
Yeah. Okay.
You know.
How's this? Is
Like,
this
if
on
you
volume?
shout, I don't care if you shout, but just pull the
Yeah.
microphone over.
All right. All right. I'll do it. I'll do it the way you want me to.
Pull your finger out of your ass.
Great. This is gonna be a great podcast.
We can start the recap.
It's gonna be a great
Start
podcast.
the recap again. Start the recap again then.
No, that's good. I'll just edit that out.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, we were at the car park. You dumped the coffee.
No,
I did not dump the coffee.
I definitely
Aidas
dumped the
dumped
coffee.
my,
Yeah, that
my
was me.
coffee.
I was a
which
coffee
was-
dumper.
Yeah.
It was on the back of the van. I opened the hatch, throw my bags in, coffee everywhere.
Yeah, but you know what?
I regret.
Bad things happen sometimes.
That's
right?
just life, man.
Yeah. I
You
know.
gotta roll with the coffee
Yeah.
spills.
And to be honest with you, I was like, it was an early start, and it is a bit of a drive up to White River. It's I guess 10 hours. Is it my
Yep.
am I
Yeah.
right?
It's about that.
The drive flew by. It was a really nice, easy drive.
Mm.
Drive straight north and then hop on the Trans-Canada,
Yep.
head west, and and then we did make a couple stops on the way.
Definitely.
All right.
Oh,
I have never been this way in
Mhm.
Ontario. The furthest on this side of the highway I've gone is like Iron Bridge, Blind River,
Yeah.
west of Sudbury. I know Aidas and Joel, you've been up this way.
Mhm,
Nick, have you
mhm.
been?
Only to Sault Ste. Marie. I haven't been any further
Past
than
the
that.
Sioux?
Yeah. Well, wherever Nipigon is, but
Yeah. So yeah, for
Yeah.
everybody, if you're gonna come to Lodge 80, which I think you should,
Mm-hmm.
the drive takes you to White River, where you either hop on a plane, float plane, or what we did, train. We'll get to that. Into the lodge, which is really cool. But before that, I've never been on that highway. That's the first time I saw Lake Superior ever.
ever. Wow. And what did you think?
Everybody's always talking about what an amazing drive that is.
Yeah.
The drive from Sault Ste. Marie to White River is one of the nicest drives I've ever done. And I've done Colorado, I've done Montana, driving around the Bahamas. It's up there. Like,
pretty
it's
beautiful.
really gorgeous.
I'm interested to know what the BC guy thought of the drive, because I mean, there's some pretty amazing drives out west, but I think that Lake Superior Drive is at least up there with some of the.
It's a
British Columbia
beautiful drive, man. It's a big landscape. It's gorgeous, and I live just north of Vancouver, so you take the Sea to Sky Highway, and it feels like a lot of the same sort of like you crest a hill and you can see way out over, and you see islands out in the water, and it looks like, it looks a lot like the
it
same.
reminds me of that a lot. Like
Yeah.
when you and I came up here the first time to Wawa,
Yeah,
driving that, we came here in the winter.
yeah, which was also pretty
It was
magical.
it was pretty beautiful.
It's a vast landscape. It's so cool.
Oh yeah. You feel like you're up north.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You do? Yeah. What'd you say? And then, like, we were passing over, like, trout stream after trout stream.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we even saw
Yeah.
people spay fishing. And I was like,
Where was
what's
that?
going on up here?
Oh, well, there's a lot of the rivers that, like, I don't know. I used to have this book called, like, Great Lakes Steelhead, and a lot of the
Fitting.
chapters are about, like, Lake Superior, and then all these rivers, like, Sand, Jack Pine. What's some of the other ones?
So there was one that was called
Agua.
Speckled Trout.
Speckled Trout
Speckled
Creek.
Trout
I mean,
Creek.
come on, that's a great name.
Yeah, and there was
Pancake
somebody
River, Old
fly fishing in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pancake River. There's a couple other ones. And I was looking over, like, out my window, and I was like, please, like, let's just stop.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we almost did.
Well, Aldo pulled over
The
at
one we
point.
stopped at was
Yeah.
that was the Ojibwa River.
Yeah,
I remember that
yeah.
one.
Yeah, we stopped to go pee pee, and I was like,
It'll
Get
Yeah.
the rods
pretty
out.
tempting.
Might have to get the rods
Yeah.
going.
You could probably do a really awesome like fly fishing road trip along that route, and then like
Oh, yeah.
up to White River, and then do a little
that-
pike fishing.
As
in
an
the spring.
aside, no, that's not an aside. As that, I'm with you, man. Like I was thinking that the second we drove past all, that, I was like, let's get an RV
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
awesome.
Let's just get an RV and go.
because isn't there one point like there's like no gas for 150 kilometers?
Yeah.
We can do that.
Yeah, right.
The no gas route
That sounds fun.
until we get to White River.
But bring gas. Bring gas.
Yeah, bring gas.
Bring
gas.
gas.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really beautiful. I've never seen that before, and that was amazing. We tried Wendy's breakfast for the first time. For me,
Me too.
it's
Me
new.
too. That was the
It's
first
new.
time I've ever
It's
had
new.
Wendy's
It's new.
breakfast.
Yeah.
Solid.
Solid.
Did anybody who had the
Baconator.
breakfast baconator?
Yes,
of us.
right here.
Oh, you
I
all
did.
did.
Yeah.
It
I
was
just
a
had the breakfast.
Listen, if you're gonna
yeah.
do it,
No,
well, I
yeah.
asked if you wanted one, and you were like, "No."
The breakfast baconator was that's a 5 out of 5 in my
That was
book.
a big sandwich.
A 5 out of
Yeah.
5?
Yeah, that's a, or like
is that your
It
favorite
was
part
like
of
a
the trip?
breakfast Big Mac.
that's a 5 out of a possible 7.
Yeah. It was good.
5 out of possible 7.
The scale starts at 3.
Yeah, it was really good, but like completely unnecessary.
No, 100%. It was very tasty,
I
though.
think
And we didn't
Joel
need to
had-
eat for the rest of the day.
No, we
This
didn't.
is
Or
true.
the rest of the trip, really, but we did. I think Joel had 5 coffees on the drive out.
No, you said that in the car too, and I had 3. I was like, I'm getting really jittery, and he's like, it's because you had 5 coffees of Pepsi and no water. It's not quite accurate. It's close, but it's not entirely accurate.
It's pretty close.
It's pretty close.
So then, yeah, we pull into White River. We finally get there. It was about a 10-hour drive. But yeah, you're right. It wasn't so bad.
Yeah, it felt like we got there way earlier than I thought we would.
Yeah.
We had a lot of time to just kick back and relax.
Yeah, that's, we kind of figured that formula out
Yeah.
going up to
That was the
Esagami.
plan,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Like,
Leave
we were
early.
like, leave early, get there early, just be able to chill out.
Yeah, you don't want to be rushing.
Because if you rush,
Yeah.
that's when you forget things or just
Yeah,
blow
yeah.
it,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
Time to process what exactly is going on.
And what exactly was going on was that Winnie the Pooh
Oh, yeah.
has a storied history in White River. The
Birth-
story of
birthplace of
Winnie the Pooh begins in White River,
Feels like
Ontario.
2 weeks ago that happened.
Yeah.
And it was only 3 days ago.
I know.
I know. Winnie the Pooh
Oh, Winnie.
was purchased. The bear that inspired the cartoon was purchased in White River, Ontario,
Yeah.
and then made its way to England during World War One, where it was
It was poached.
Poached.
well, it wasn't killed, but yeah, it was
Yeah.
poached, and it was purchased anyway.
Purchased and moved.
Purchased, moved, and was a mascot. Of course, if anybody remembers the Canadian Heritage Moments
Was
for the Army Corps.
Sure.
Of engineers? No, I don't know.
Sounds right.
But
I'll go with that.
it was eventually taken from the zoo that it was put in.
I think we got it a little convoluted here. I think it was in a zoo here. Like, it came from the area. It was in a zoo here, wasn't it?
No. It got
No.
I think you're right.
And then the kid came here and was like, I want this bear.
no. The army. The soldier in the army, the colonel or whatever.
Okay.
From this.
Colonel Pooh.
This story is.
This is good.
No, we got it.
No. This is what happened. Army Canadian go to England.
Mm-hmm.
Ends up in the zoo.
Yep.
England.
Mm-hmm.
Kid falls in love with it.
Kid falls in love with it. That kid is Christopher Robin,
Yep.
and that kid's dad,
Dr.
Milne.
Robin.
a Mills. Milne.
Because it's Christopher Robin Milne.
Oh, there you go.
I remembered that.
No
Wow.
dropping.
Somebody
knowledge.
remembered the plaque.
Somebody
I
reads
remembered the
books.
plaque. Exactly.
You read it.
I read the plaque.
Okay. Enough about Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
So anyway, but he's from White River, Ontario, which is super random. And then we had a great dinner.
We
Yep.
did. we
That
did.
bar was
Oh, man.
jumping.
Yeah, we
It
went
was.
to the
Yeah.
busiest bar in White River for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it might be the only bar in White River.
Definitely the only bar.
I
in
don't think
White
it is, man. There was another restaurant.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was definitely the busiest.
Oh yeah, it was popping
It
up.
was popping up.
You know what? I suspect a few of the people there are here,
Right.
or at the
Yeah,
adjacent
probably.
camp.
Yeah.
Great chicken
Yeah,
wings.
likely.
Great chicken wings.
Great chicken wings.
Yeah.
Great pizza.
Pizza and chicken
That
wings and
pizza-
beer.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
great
Good
start.
start.
Great chicken wings.
Yeah, we had a
Mm-hmm.
great time. We had a
Yeah,
great time in White
few
River,
pops.
Ontario. Great
Mhm.
time. So then we fall asleep. We wake up. Ample time.
Well, we were
Ample time.
we were on it.
We had our stuff together.
Alarms at 6 a.m.
Yep. Our train was set to leave at 7
a.m.
a.m.
Mhm.
Okay,
and
so
the commute time was like 1 minute.
Yes,
a single 1 minute.
Yeah.
Turn of the clock.
we were in
Got
the
it.
cars 6:15.
at least.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the A&W, get some, because there's no food service on the train. So we were like, okay, let's go to the A&W,
Probably
get some
need
coffees
breakfast,
at
yeah.
least, and some Gatorades, because maybe we got in a few beers.
Thank you for the Gatorade.
Yeah, we might have gotten
Yeah.
a few beers.
A reasonable amount.
Yeah, and then well, I mean, beer on tap.
Come
What
on.
was it?
now.
Northern Passage Brewing or
Passage
whatever?
Pale Ale.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway,
It was
Mm-hmm.
draft beer. Come on.
can you speak one more time?
Said it was delicious.
Oh, weird. We've lost you.
Mm,
Oh, there we go.
am I back?
You're back.
I'm back.
While we're breaking here, what is the battery life at on that mother?
How do I see that?
You see a little battery icon in the top left corner?
Oh yeah, we got 2 notches left.
Beauty.
Okay.
Beers, breakfast,
We're on the
to
road
the
to
train early.
On the way to the train.
Yeah, we're on the way to the train. Okay, we got A&W. We got on the train. Oh wait, no, we're on the way to the train.
Yeah, we
Mhm.
And the train's there,
train's there.
and
Okay.
we're like, oh god, the train's there.
But
It's
this is like
20 to 7.
6:40.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
20 to
Yeah,
7.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
like early, right?
We're gonna
Yeah.
like shoot our B-roll and
Yeah.
organize our stuff.
Yeah, we got our
Yep.
stuff all squared
You got,
away.
you got people loading beers and fly rods and
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were like, oh yeah, we'll get the pictures, no problem.
easy.
Crack the door, and the conductor.
Or the train master.
Train
whatever.
master.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go with train master. That sounds cooler.
Train master. I think we might need to change your cable, dude. Sorry. I'm
Cargo
gonna pause this.
captain.
Pause.
Pause.
Cargo captain.
In that blue bag,
Cargo
there's
boy.
a...
Yeah, I mine too. I think that one's fine.
Oh, you're gonna roll it? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care.
What were you doing this for?
I just checked a look at the battery.
Sorry, Nick.
Yeah, okay. Guys, how are we doing? How's everybody?
Pretty good. This is pretty good. This is going down real good.
Yeah, it's going
Yeah,
down
really
cold,
easy.
which is important.
Literally, it could be literally anything. I drink Malibu on ice.
Oh, actually, I would drink that one. Okay,
Long
You
one.
would.
you've got your end.
Captain Food. Captain Food. Just pull it out.
Captain
There we
Food.
go.
Oh, lest we forget our fallen.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Rest in peace, Captain Food.
Just put it on the floor.
Captain, yeah, just Captain Poo. Okay, let's get a little test on that one.
Sarge. Testing.
Sergeant
1,
Poo to
2,
you.
3. Is this microphone sounding better?
That's Sergeant
Turn on.
Poopy.
Is it clipped in?
Yeah, it's good.
Check, 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 check. Oh, there we go. Check, check. Okay. Should be good.
It's only when I talk out of it, it doesn't work.
Nice, there we go.
Okay.
Great.
Alright,
Okay,
so
and we're wait a minute.
train master.
3, 2, 1. So we get out of the cars. It's 20 to 7. It's early, and the train master,
Yeah.
That's what I'm going with. That
Okay.
sounds good.
Sure.
conductor,
Cargo captain.
Yeah.
Ringo Starr, and Tom's the Tank Engine friends there.
Oi.
Oh,
Is like, we got to get you loaded in 4 minutes, or we're gonna get interrupted by another train, and it's gonna be another hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically,
And
get
he's
on
like,
the train
we got
4 minutes.
Get on the train in
This is
4
very
minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, 4 minutes?
Very stressful.
And so we're just
Yeah.
like,
Barely
I'm like,
awake.
Joel, just shoot. We're like,
Get
Yeah,
something,
no,
get
honestly,
something,
it
and
was-
get on the train.
It was
Grabbing
very
bags.
scary for me, but I trusted you, Aldo, to deal with all of my gear.
Which
You were
is
like,
crazy
you
because
just
I'm
shoot, I'll get everything on the train. I was like, oh, okay.
and Aidas, helped. You guys are just shooting. But then people started showing up after us. So I think,
Yeah.
I think, Nick, when you were like, I think he was just kind of fucking. Who
Yeah,
said that?
he had
He was
kind of a
messing with
dry
us a
sense of
little bit.
humor. He
Yeah.
was doing some other stuff and
He was messing
kind of
with
messing
us.
around the whole
Yeah, he kept
train
on taking
ride.
luggage off the train, throwing it in the ditch and stuff.
Yeah.
He was,
Yeah.
he was a
That
bit of a
didn't happen.
joker.
No,
Did that
no,
happen?
No.
No.
Okay.
No, but remember, like Aldo
He was a
scanned my
joker.
ticket, and then he scanned mine, and it didn't work, and he was like, "Uh-oh." That kind of made me feel like I'm gonna get kicked off the train.
Yeah.
Right? But,
That would be a grim situation, getting kicked off the train up here.
In the middle of the
That
forest.
is
well, maybe
not
that's what happened to those other guys we saw in the middle of nowhere when
That's
that train
true,
was
yeah.
going through.
Yeah.
Maybe
They
that
had a
is
lot
what
of
happened.
bins. A lot of bins.
What is it? When you said this, I was like, what kind of bins are we talking about?
There-
Okay,
Those-
they're definitely hunters or something.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
They were just like, I don't know, northern dudes
Yeah.
sitting on some plastic lawn chairs beside the train tracks with a pile of Rubbermaid bins.
Yeah.
The train stopped briefly next to them.
Hmm.
Something happened,
Hmm.
and then the train continued on.
I'm pretty sure they had a
peculiar.
hunt camp there or something.
Yeah.
They looked
Probably.
like some
There's
good
some
old boys on
situation.
a hunting trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I found it pretty cool. Like, it's not a big town, as you can imagine, and you're in the middle of a very rugged north.
Yeah.
northwest.
Yeah.
You know, Ontario, and you're just this train at this old train station, and then you know, all of a sudden we were on. It all happened so quick.
Yeah.
It was like all of a sudden we're on it. I'm like, are we? And then I started freaking out. I was like, are we on the right train?
Yeah.
Because he was like, he mentioned that other train coming, and I'm like, I didn't stop to ask him, like, this is train 186 to like Swanson or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
So for everybody, if you want to take the train in, it's through Via Rail. You just buy a ticket on Via Rail.
yeah.
It's $4.
Yeah, is
That's
that
a good,
all
that's a
was,
good
eh?
price for your friend.
It was only
$4?
$4.
$10? It was something like, for all of us, I think it was like $35.
Wow.
Amazing.
Or something like that. Sorry,
That's
that's
a
not
good deal.
$4. It's
Yeah.
If
terrible.
you want to
math.
experience a train ride,
Yeah.
And it was a lovely train car.
it was.
It's
Yeah.
actually a great way to get into some like remote country in Ontario.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't know about you guys. I've never taken a train to go fishing before.
No.
Nope.
No.
But
I
I
always
have heard.
wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely heard about some trips where like you get off at certain mile markers and
Like they'll just open the door and be like, hey, see you
Yeah.
later.
See ya, peace. Like
Yeah.
A
good
lot
luck.
of canoe trips
Yeah.
like that too, eh?
A lot of
Yeah.
really cool canoe trips like that. I think like Wabakimi. Anytime you want to go up there, they're usually train in, paddle out. But yeah, that was a new one for me, and
Yeah.
it's a good way to get into some remote country because, as we know, Northern Ontario, it's pretty remote. A lot
Yeah.
of places are very remote.
I mean, Nick used to live in Fort Albany.
I did.
Like, that's
I
pretty
did.
north.
You couldn't take the train there though.
No.
You'd have to train to Moosonee and then fly from Moosonee to Fort Albany.
So
Oy.
so when Nick's talking about
Yeah.
Northern Ontario, Nick knows.
I know a few things, but yeah, I mean that's just one place. It's all there's so much I want to see.
I mean, Italy can fit in Ontario 5.5 times.
Wow,
So it's a big place.
Fun fact.
Fun fact.
is that true? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like you've checked that out.
5.5? It's something like it's at
Either
least.
way, that's
Yeah,
a-
yeah.
that's
It's bigger than
amazing.
Texas. Tail, you would.
Wow. And they say
Holy
Texas.
And they
is
say,
Holy
big.
and they
smokes.
say nothing's bigger than something
Texas.
Texas. Something like that.
Well, it's
That's
it's
not
enormous.
true at all.
No.
In
You're
any-
bigger. Aidas, you're bigger than Texas.
I am Texas.
But I thought that train ride was super awesome. Joel and I
Yeah.
got some shut eye.
Yep.
There were
Yeah,
actually a lot
you
of
guys got a lot of sleep.
fly. We need, trust me, dude.
Yeah.
I needed it.
Yeah. Well, I had some people sitting beside me that were a little chatty, so
Yeah, I know.
I was gonna say though, like that train had a lot of fly anglers on it.
Yeah.
We saw people loading, fly rods. People with like brands that we recognize. People wearing
Yeah,
Sim
yeah.
stuff, and I think some of them were the people we passed on the way up fishing those rivers.
Yeah.
SoFly's blowing up the,
The
Northern
Northern
Ontario fly
Tacoma.
fishing scene,
Who
man.
knew?
But those two gentlemen loved you.
Oh,
Nick.
yeah,
Nick was
yeah.
tying flies on the train, and these guys
soon
were
as
like,
you got the vice out.
I feel like you sowed your own poison on that one.
It
Yeah.
did. It
It
attracted
was
a
an
lot of
invitation.
attention.
Yeah.
It attracted
You
a
should
lot of attention.
just pretend to be asleep next time.
Yeah, I
While you're
know.
tying.
That's okay. They were very nice guys.
They were.
Couple nice guys. I doubt they're listening, but hey, gentlemen from Ohio, I hope you guys had a great trip.
Thanks for the beta.
yeah, they were like downloading you with info.
Dude, they were showing me lots of fish that they've caught, and
Yeah, I think they showed you every fish they'd ever
Every
caught
fish
ever.
And every fish their
I
son
think I was
caught.
sleeping at one point and I got like a tap on the shoulder and it was like a peacock bass. It was
yeah,
You're like,
Sick.
yeah, I remember that. You looked over, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, great.
But you know what? Like they weren't small fish. These guys are showing me. It was
Yeah.
pretty impressive. I was impressed.
100%.
So it kind of got
Yeah.
us excited because I was like, oh, these guys like love it here. They said they've been
Yeah.
coming here for
30 years.
Wow.
Yeah, they've
Wow.
stayed here a bunch of times. Yeah, and they love this lake. They said that they brought their kids here. Their kids have brought their kids, so grandkids have been up here. Obviously, and they were pike anglers. That's the other
Like,
thing.
they
Like
love
they
pike.
came for pike,
Okay,
right? Which
I
was
love that.
also cool because a lot of people who travel up here are walleye anglers, right?
Yeah, oh,
Especially
for
a lot
sure.
of Americans, right? They come for the
Ontario.
walleye. So
yeah, get
Very
that
cool.
walleye.
yeah,
Yeah, so then the train stops. The doors fly open. And we're like, all right, get off.
Get
And
off.
it's
it's
like,
like chaos again.
it's just kind of chaos again. Aidas has the drone in the air.
Yeah.
We're
And there
like-
was a lot of people
Which thank
waiting
you
to get
for that.
on
That
the
was
train.
Yeah.
great idea.
I didn't hit record.
Actually,
I don't know. I didn't look. I'm just yeah, I recorded.
okay.
Sorry, it was a little drone
Psych.
humor there for you.
Psych.
Actually,
I mean, I've done that before.
Hey, we've all done that, baby.
Yeah.
Tally lights
tally lights.
Tally lights.
tells you you're recording.
Oh.
Light goes, yeah.
Right.
I just learned that.
I didn't know what
actually.
they were
Didn't know
talking
what they were
about.
called.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Fun
Fun
fact.
Nerds.
Tally
Nerds.
lights. So yeah, we're off and there's people trying to get on because obviously they're coming back from the lodge
There's
and
rods
Yeah.
everywhere.
Rods.
Cases of bush everywhere.
Yeah,
Oh, there's a
I'm
lot of
very,
cases of
like, I'm
bush coming off that.
sincerely surprised we didn't get anything mixed up along the way.
Amazing. Like
Everything's here.
So just rewind a little. When we were getting on, they're like, "Where are you going?" Lodge 88. And people were like, "Where are you going?" Marmac. And we're like, "Oh, this is going more than one place. This is."
Yeah.
Little did we know that Marmac, Lodge 88, it's all the same lake.
Yeah. Oh, same owner as well.
Same owner, same stop. Like,
it's just up the lake.
But at the time, we didn't know any of
no,
this.
we were freaking out.
So I was like,
No.
oh my god, this thing goes to different lodges.
No, and we shouldn't make it seem like it's total chaos. It's really not total chaos,
No.
but we had a lot of stuff.
And we were,
right? And
we were
some
good point.
Yeah.
some people from, I guess it was the lodge and the train, they did move our stuff. So like, I know Joel, you were looking for your camera stuff, and like that wasn't on the train anymore.
I will say it was pretty amazing. Without knowing any of us, meeting any of us, they somehow got all our bags
everything.
together.
They knew who you were. They knew that was definitely a bag of SoFi or something.
That's a great point you make.
Yeah, we were the ones that were discombobulated.
Yeah.
We were a little not on. We were not on point.
Let's just say we weren't fresh, but we did wake up and we got on the train and we got here. And then Terry, again, the lodge manager, met us. Met us at the train. He was waiting for us. Lovely human.
Yeah.
Yeah. Terry's a man.
Great host.
Yeah.
Terry's a man. So he explained the lowdown, like, I'm going to get your bags onto this side by side. They'll be waiting for you at the lodge. John, who was to be our guide, was going to we were going to hop on the boat and take a very short boat ride into camp.
Right.
And so the bags were going on an ATV trail, but we weren't. So that was cool. So, like, yeah, we're all of a sudden, it's like, it's a little bit overcast. We're just off the train. It's 9 ish.
I have no idea what time it was.
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah.
I still don't know what time it is.
Yeah.
And then we got, I was boating into the lodge for the first time, meeting John. Like, it was all happening.
It was fast.
Very quick. First impressions of seeing the lodge?
Oh, seeing the lodge right away. I mean, because I knew we were coming here, I did look at it a lot online. I knew it was already going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
But then, like, as you're rolling in, you're like in the middle of nowhere. Like, these are remote places, man.
Yeah,
right? You don't know what to expect, right?
Yep.
It could be just
100%.
like a little cabin in the wilderness. Who knows, right? No, this has like well kept grounds, beautiful log cabins. Like the main lodge is super comfortable.
Everything's made out of, I'm assuming, the forest surrounding us.
Yeah, it's very woody.
Go with black spruce.
I gotta say also the cleanliness. Everything is clean as heck.
Clean. Yeah, that's a good point.
Boats, cabins, everything.
I feel like there's like when you're rolling up to one of these lodges for the first time, there's like key signifiers that will like, you can kind of be like, all right, here's what's up. Because you come in, the boats are nice, dock's clean, everything's organized.
Yeah.
You know, there's dock hands super friendly, pull you in right away, get your stuff. Like
the dock hand is such a nice touch.
Yeah.
Like the whole operation is really dialed in, which is great.
Yeah.
And all those things kind of tell you like, oh, okay, this is like, they know what they're doing.
I don't want to jump ahead, but the moment we got here, they had breakfast ready for us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a good jump ahead point.
Perfect
that was
segue,
like, because we were like, what do we want to do? We're like, not even really sure what.
Because we didn't really think
next.
about eating either.
No.
So we were still in that like.
See, I ate.
He did. He ate a breakfast
Did anybody
sandwich.
eat at A&W?
No.
He did, but
yeah, no. I was like,
Aidas
oh
did.
shit, I'm not gonna last till lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a nice touch. Having
wonderful touch. Yeah.
And we got settled in our cabins. So there are a few cabin structures here. We're in one that all has double rooms. So if you're just two friends or a couple or whatever, or maybe you're bringing your kid, you can come here and just split the room, the two of you.
Yeah. For those of you watching on YouTube, you can see like we're in the, I guess I don't know. Cabin A.
2A.
2A.
Yeah.
But you got a little couch love seat situation there. You got a fridge, microwave, a little coffee machine, little cabinet.
You got a nice Keurig.
Very nice power bar.
Keurig.
For those of you who travel with technology.
It is a good power bar.
Power bar.
Sweet.
Good little table.
And then there's also cabins that you can like rent out as a group. There's a few groups here.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a main lodge, which is where all the dining happens.
Mm-hmm.
I
Pool
think
table.
Pool table.
Oh yeah.
Like this place is balling.
Yeah.
Like I think
fish and like animals on the walls, like
Oh,
exactly
it's
what you
very
want your
fishing
lodge to
lodgy.
be.
yeah, it's a
very
beautiful
Yeah.
lodge. I think having that train affords them a different level of capability to build something out.
Right.
Because I can also imagine that because like they drove our bags here on an ATV, whereas like Marmac Lodge and some of the other lodges on the lake are boat-in only.
Yeah.
And you can tell there's much smaller. This place, like the buildings here, are like
These are good.
I mean, they're not
buildings.
huge, but they're they're bigger than Esnagami, let's say.
Yeah, for sure. Like these, it's a very, very good situation. Like the big lodge, big multi-cabin. I don't know what to call this. Multiple cabin building room.
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
I mean, in the structure we're in, there's four two-bedroom rooms, and then there's a common area. So if you're a giant group, this could be your cabin
for sure.
And then everybody can go party in the living room for those people
who
who
that'd be
to
so
go
fun.
sleep. You know,
that's a good point.
Like you could bring a group of 8 people in the structure we're in here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But there seems to be like about 5 or 6 cabins around the grounds,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty rad.
Yeah, and everything is made of wood,
which is also rad. So then we had breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Great breakfast sandwich.
That was a
excellent breakfast sandwich.
banger.
Oh,
why'd it do that?
Pause.
Oh.
Cutting.
Oh.
Here, I'll do it.
Oh.
Is it overheating?
I don't know. Doesn't say.
Anybody need a drink?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to change your battery.
No, yeah, it rolls. I think it stops after half an hour.
Oh, okay. Well,
Like
we're going to take a brief intermission for some fresh cocktails.
Wait, do that again.
Today on Cocktails with...
Fresh one there, brother? No, wait for that one to be done. I'll probably just drink it pretty quick.
Hey, Nick, can I have some ice too? Got some fresh ice.
No, that's good. More?
The head where you're like, please, can I have more?
Could I have ice, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, just watch out when you're doing, because you tend to talk.
I know.
So just move with your face. Just move with your face.
Yeah, I was trying to plant it so I keep my distance the same.
Let's fire up the energy, Aidas.
Hey,
What? He's great.
Fire it up.
That's his energy.
Fire up the energy.
it's my energy, baby. That's just how it is.
You're like a Freddie Mercury. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the broken.
Root beer, guys?
Yeah, I'll have a splash. Is there or cracking in the
Holy
first one?
fuck! Sweat my.
You're right by the window,
Yeah.
man. I mean, you
It's
got,
not. It's
you
not.
got cooked though.
Might as well do
Holy
it.
shit, you are a fucking oven. Can't wait to have that inside me. Wait, what?
Wait, other way around.
You're right.
Can't we get the inside?
Yes, a warm oven. Yes, like a little pizza bun.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be the pizza bun. You be the oven.
I'm your little hunter.
Ooh.
Oh right, you don't have headphones on. The ASMR sounds so much.
I know.
Joel, you doing coke or?
Yeah.
We do have a headphone splitter. Remember that for the next time.
Easy.
I will say though, this does a very good. Like we're sounding great right now.
Really?
Yeah. This one does. Like for recording, it's not as good as our big setup, but it's pretty fucking good for a mobile recorder.
We're rolling over there.
Rolling? We're still rolling.
We're rolling
Okay,
right
ready?
here.
No, just keep rolling. I have 3 hours of recording time left. Fucking city kid.
Fucking city kids. So the breakfast sandwich was sick.
Pretty awesome.
And then it was like time. We have so many rods to rig up.
Oh,
So
that
like-
took a little while.
Yeah,
didn't
that
it?
took a while, but we had
Yeah.
some dope stuff from Reddington. We had some like
Yeah.
Reddington Predator rods, but lines. I'd never had They gave us the stuff for the saltwater trips, but it was cool respooling everything for Pike.
Yeah.
What were the lines again?
But they're Predator lines.
The
Rio Predator lines.
Yeah. I think I think so. I think we were talking about this before. Is like having a kind of like a line specific for pike, muskie, whatever. How important it is to get those flies out. Like it really makes a big difference. And it's like being kind of new to fly fishing, and coming into it with like kind of this like multi-purpose tapers or whatever, like all these things, and then trying a line that's specifically designed for what we're doing. Such a big difference.
It's pretty. I was saying like, I had an older version of the Rio Pike muskie line, the Sync 5, Sync 6 or whatever, and just putting the new one on. Even the difference from like 3-4 years ago to now is like it's insane. That line casts like crazy.
I know you guys brought a lot of rods, and it kind of felt silly at the beginning, like rigging them all up. Like, that was a lot of rods.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to guess a number? How many rods?
I think
we
we
had
had
per boat?
8.
dozen.
I think it was 8.
6 or 8.
Yeah.
But Nick, you know when
But
you
hang
wanna...
on.
Oh, sorry.
I know, I'm saying I was like, wow, these guys have a lot of rods. I brought, what did I bring with me? I brought an intermediate.
Brought like 4.
Yeah, I brought like 4. but hang on a second. I was thinking, I was like, you know what? I need more rods. and the reason why I say that is because like this is a big lake, and we're fishing really windy conditions.
Yeah.
Right. We're fishing a lot of really shallow bays. Right. I think if you were to pick any line for pike fishing, an intermediate is a good first line.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
I don't know if I would say the next one should be a floater. If you think you might have top water, that's a good choice. But I think the next one I would pick would be like a pretty good sinking line.
Yeah.
So I have a really awesome sinking line for my 10-weight, but I didn't even bring it.
Ooh.
Oh, sorry, I brought it. I didn't have it spooled up though. And I was like, a few times I saw you, Aldo, you're reaching for your sinking line a few times on your 10-weight or your 9-weight, and I was like, man, I wish I had mine all set up.
Yeah.
So like, you know what? I know it looks ridiculous, and fly fishing is one of those sports that like you tend to have you need the right tool for the job, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't have it, I don't know, you could miss out on some opportunities.
Job's not
I think
gonna
a
get
few
done.
times I missed out on a few opportunities and some
man.
of those deeper fish, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, to just talk about the lake, Asnagi's a huge lake.
Yeah.
It's a very long lake. Like
Yeah.
it's not a very
It's not
wide
No.
lake.
Yeah.
I feel like you can see both sides.
But the whole time you can
Yeah.
see both shorelines. Like how much shoreline?
Oh
my goodness.
Oh, I think it's like 270 miles of shoreline.
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
a lot of shoreline.
Yeah.
Well, it's 27 miles long.
It takes
it
almost
says.
an hour to get to
Yeah.
the other end of the lake
Yeah.
from where we are, because
Yeah.
we're on the southernmost tip of the lake, sort of, right?
Yeah.
And then to get to the northern arm, where we fished the very first morning with John,
Yeah.
45 minutes
took
or
about 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
So this is, and we're on 25 horsepower.
Yeah.
You are not going to run out of lake to fish.
No. And you're in shallow bays, you're in feeder creeks,
Yeah.
you're in weed lines, you're on drop off.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
being able to, if you have the luxury to bring a few different setups, is definitely worth it. Also, like, I know we were fishing game changers for the most part, big game changers. But you know, if you're casting those big musky style pike flies, the sinking line barely gets them under the surface. You know what I mean? Like you're not dropping these things. You're just trying to get them a little under the surface, right?
Yeah.
So like it's a good point.
I mean,
The
like,
Type 9 would definitely drop them.
Oh, for sure.
But
yeah.
yeah.
But I think, like,
I think-
necessary for the depth
I
we were
think more
fishing.
like what you said, more than anything, we all fished mostly like an intermediate line.
Yeah.
More than anything, like, it was like I think mine was like I had like a sing 5, sing 3 intermediate types of thing,
Mm.
and I'm pretty sure you were doing the same thing.
I switched from intermediate to sinking, and I
Right,
didn't
right.
switch back.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, when did you switch?
Halfway through day 2.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
remember
I
seeing-
started getting even more hookups, which is crazy
Yeah.
to say,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just because we're getting a lot of hookups.
Yeah.
And yeah, we get everything set up,
Yeah. Got the
do.
rods up.
and then we go to the dock. We meet John. John's our
Yeah.
guide.
I was
Oh,
waiting
man.
for
John-
us.
Sweetheart.
John has been fishing this lake since before we were all born. He was
Yeah.
been fishing this lake since 1985.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were born.
I was
right?
born in 1985. I was born the same day John started fishing on this lake.
the exact same day.
Yes.
Actually.
No.
Oh fuck!
Just went with that, man. That was great.
We should have went with that. But I mean, probably because you were born in
1985.
September. That doesn't make any sense. So, but
Yes, it does. That's exactly the month I was born.
no, I know. But I mean, like, he
Oh.
would start fishing in May.
No, that's why
Yeah.
I said that, because it was silly. I was
But-
being silly.
Back to John, though.
Yeah.
John.
More importantly.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Nick. Thanks for keeping us on
John,
track.
honestly, like the second I met John, I was thinking, like, man, took about a few minutes talking to him. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I want this guy to be our guide.
He was pumped
Yeah.
that we were
Yeah.
there.
He knows John Giuliani.
He knows John Julie. John Julie.
Yeah.
You're
It
the
was
only person who's fished with
John
John
Giuliani.
Giuliani. Oh
Yeah.
wait, that's not true. Nick, you met him.
I didn't fish with him.
Yeah.
I had a lovely meeting with John Giuliani when Matt Martin and I were in Sault Ste. Marie for a very brief little fish of the rapids
Yeah.
Mm.
on our way home from another fishing trip. And he opened his fly box up and gave us tons of pointers and
Yeah.
actually helped us
Awesome.
get into some fish while we were there. So
John Giuliani, former SoFly
Yeah,
podcast
big shout out to John.
guest. I just
that was an
fished with
awesome
him.
episode.
I
I
fished
love
with
that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a good one.
Yeah.
So John here.
But John here, who
Yeah.
didn't grab his last name, unfortunately.
No.
But John from Lodge 88.
Lodge 88.
John 88.
John
John
88.
Johnny 88.
John 88 started
Love it.
fishing in 85
Right.
here. Huge knowledge of the lake.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. He started fishing here. He grew up in the Sioux.
Okay.
Fished with John Giuliani a bunch.
Okay.
Yeah. Fished those rapids a bunch.
Okay.
Lives in White River.
Loves fly fishing.
Loves fly fishing.
Yeah.
He was.
Really
He was.
does.
He
It's
was
kind of funny, hey? Like, we keep rolling up to these lodges.
There's like a couple of people that are like, whoa, I didn't know you because we're flyingers coming in.
Yeah. Like Eric Lund from
Yeah.
Esnagami Lodge.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
there's all these secret northern
It is.
fly
Yeah.
anglers, you know?
We think we're so original and so unique and
I don't
cool because
know.
we fly fish, but you know what? Everyone's doing it.
And these guys have been doing it.
Yeah.
They've been doing it for
Longer than us.
while.
like decades.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, so John was like, you know, we're gonna go. Well, he's like, we only had the one day with John, so
Yeah.
John's like, I'm gonna show you as many spots as
Did like a half day with John.
possible.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true, because we had already
Yeah.
commuted in.
Yeah.
So John was like, I'm gonna try and show you as much as the lake as humanly
It
possible.
was like a
and,
crash
like,
course
let's
in Lake
Yeah.
Esnagi.
and it was like
Boof.
spot.
Yeah.
Spot.
He was
spot.
he was gunning, man.
He was
like,
amped.
Like he was like, all right, it's 45-minute run off the bat, boys, and we go right up to the northern tip of the lake where I guess it was the spawning pike were coming back down into this like shallow, kind of sandy, weedy.
Because we're
It looked-
post bar.
It
We're
was like a
fresh.
river
Yeah.
delta,
Yeah.
right? It was
Yeah.
a river delta. That's right where the Magpie River entered into the lake.
Right.
That is cool.
And it looked exactly like
Looked
the
super
perfect
pikey.
pike area.
Super pikey. We saw a lot of pike there.
Nick and
Yeah.
I picked up a couple.
Yeah.
We did. Yeah.
You guys picked up a couple.
Yeah, but like, I
Okay,
mean,
so yeah, Joel and Aidas were in the boat with John.
day one.
That was
Yeah.
day
Day
one.
one, and then me and Nick were sharing a boat,
we
which
were
was
boat
great.
buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got into it kind of pretty quickly there.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, it was one of the funniest things when I first started talking to John. Like, you want to get a sense for like what to expect, right?
Mhm.
And so I was asking him, like, how's it been lately? The fishing's been good. Has it been bad? Like, what's been going on with the lake? He said, oh, it's been good. We've been catching some nice ones. And I'm like, well, what's a nice one? And he's like, oh, we got a few 30s yesterday. And I was like, oh, 30s. Like, that's an all right pike. And then I like there was silence for a while, and I was like thinking in my head, I'm like, did you mean pike? And he goes, oh no, I'm talking about walleye. So, like, clearly there's some mega walleye in this lake.
Yeah.
We weren't targeting walleye, but I think it's important to know that we saw some people bring back a few real nice walleye.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I guess most people
30-inch
do come here
walleyes.
for the walleye.
Huge.
It
That is
seems
a
that
big
way.
draw.
It seems that way.
Yeah, it's a big draw here for
Yeah.
sure.
But
There are up to 50-inch pike in this lake.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'll just, spoiler alert, did not get into one.
We did not see
Yeah.
a 50-inch.
No, but we saw some really great pike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did. Yeah.
But yeah, it was a fun day. We were zipping around.
mm-hmm.
My favorite part of that day, if I may,
Please do.
thanks,
I can't wait.
was when we found that first feeder creek.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And we were spotting. It was funny. I was just like, because we were just, there was the people from Ohio.
Yeah.
We're like, if you find
Moving
Moving
water.
water.
Yeah.
just fish it.
Aldo was pretending to be asleep. He wasn't actually asleep. He was listening to
I was like-
every word the Ohio guys were telling me.
It was intel.
Taking notes.
Yeah.
Thinking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, you guys got on some bigger fish there.
It was interesting.
Oh, they were rowdy too.
Yeah,
They're the
yeah. So you guys kind of hung around the mouth of the creek.
Yeah, because he was like, I think John's thing was just like, we're gonna cover a lot of water, we're gonna
Yeah.
fish
Yeah.
fast,
I'll show you. All the
and then we
things.
just like he'd be like, oh, take a couple casts in here, and he saw you guys. He's like, oh, they're fishing that creek, and I think we heard you guys yelling or something.
Well, he
Oh,
thought
I'm
you were.
sure you could
He
hear
thought
us
you were
yelling.
stuck.
yeah,
Oh
No,
no,
we
that's
were-
just Aldo.
we were
That's just Aldo.
stuck on some fish.
Yes.
Hey, I get a little stoked when
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
on the-
Hey
when I'm
man,
on
no, that was that was awesome. So we got into this, and that was a small creek, man. Like we're not talking like a river. We're
No.
talking
No.
like
Yeah.
No, we're
like a
trickle.
a trickle, really. Like what you
clear.
like you wouldn't
water.
even weight it as a trout stream. It was like a little trickle.
Yeah.
And like the boat did kind of get a little bit pushed to the side, and then Aldo's like, "There's a pike right here," and then I thought I don't know, I couldn't really hear what he was saying because he was so focused and speaking the other way, and the motor was in neutral, and then he just flipped his line in, and then the thing ate, and then I think you missed it.
Oh yeah, I missed
Yeah.
it, and then,
and then I don't know. I'm like,
no,
"Throw it
Nick,
back
you're
in."
like throw it back in there, and then he ate on the second one.
Yeah,
But it was funny, like it was so shallow, it was so clear in this little back bay that I started like maybe shades of Esnagami trying to spot the pike, or shades of saltwater fishing. I'm just like trying to spot the pike.
Sure.
Like that's not how pike fishing works. Like they're hiding.
Yeah, right.
Usually that's not how it works.
Usually.
But we started spotting them in there, and that was just super fun because you could see the takes, and that's always. And I always forget how much I love pike fishing, and then till the second you hook your first one, you're like, oh, this is the best.
Yeah.
Like they're always charged up. They are hitting the flies so hard, and when you can see the whole thing go down, especially. That first fish where I was like, oh my God, there's a pike right here. And then you flip it in, and Joel, it was kind of like redfish in Texas. They do that turn where you're just like, this thing's eating, and you're just like, and they follow, and then they're just like, and I'm like, oh my God.
Bump it.
Yeah, bump it, boom. Fish on.
Yeah, I think John realized you guys were getting into some fish, and he brought us in there as well.
Oh.
Yeah, we fished around there.
I mean, everybody was hammering fish.
Yeah, we picked up some good ones in there.
Yeah, we definitely tormented the fish in that.
I think that was my biggest fish in there.
Well, you got a nice one, right? Is that the one that you was posted to social media? Was it that one?
I don't know.
That was a nice
that
pike.
was a social media.
I don't know which one was posted.
That was
a
nice pike with a big under
jaw. It was a bigger fish.
Big old underbite on that one.
That was in the threes.
Yeah. No, that was a solid pike. Yeah, and the other thing that was so strange is, and I'm sure we're going to mention this a million times on this, is I've never caught pike in current before. So like there was literally like pike stacked up in the current, which I've never seen.
That's cool.
Especially because we were post spawn, so you think that the spawn's about to happen. They're all on meh.
I don't know if they spawn in the river. Like,
no, but I mean, like you'd expect to see pike together.
Yes.
During the spawn, but it's post spawn. So
yeah, I mean, John was saying that it's like way past the spawn.
Really?
Right? Yeah, and that's why he was thinking that first spot was going to be just fire because he figured that if it was maybe a week or two earlier, the fish would have been packed into that river, having just finished spawning in that slow, froggy water in that mouth of that river. But they'd already pushed back a lot of those fish into the deeper water. But then, in the current, it was so strange that we actually could see pike sitting in current.
Joel.
Yes.
It's been a while since you fished Ontario.
That is true.
How was this your first Northern Lodge trip? Definitely in a while, but ever?
This is my first Northern Lodge trip fly fishing, I think.
Except for Elk Lake.
Oh, yeah, except for Elk Lake.
Yeah, you brought yourself there.
Yeah, that was a little solo adventure.
Yeah.
That was a lot of...
How long ago was that now?
2 summers? Oh, no, more than that. I've been in BC for 3 years. So
oh, wow. So 3 years before you got
it was probably the summer before I left for BC.
Did you miss it?
Did I miss Ontario?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I miss Ontario all the time.
Oh, right on.
I love where I live, but I definitely miss Ontario.
So how are you enjoying that first day, just being back?
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
It was so great.
First of all, can we talk about Joel's cast?
We got to talk about it.
Yeah, Joel, your cast is amazing.
The gold medal for casting.
Yeah.
How long have you been fishing for?
Thank you. 3.5, 4 years now.
It's just like, it's everyone you lay out is just like, it looks like a magazine shot. It's like
I feel like he must be thinking about his cast a lot. Because we're pike fishing.
I'm not thinking.
No. Me either. I'm just like, get it out there. Whatever.
Purely,
sometimes I'm water loading. Other times
I'm water loading all the time.
Yeah, if it smacks the water, I'm like, that's better. I'm ringing the dinner bell for them. But Joel's like laying it out like a perfect like straight line.
I don't get to fish single hands a lot, so I just want to cast.
That's cool, man.
Well, it was great.
It looked great. I was so impressed.
To get back to your question.
Yeah.
I have like very fond memories of growing up fishing Northern Ontario, and so it's always been like super nostalgic thinking about being here. Like even the drive up, I was really excited for. Like I know they're not.
I loved that drive.
It's not like the most glorious and glamorous drive at certain parts, but
it gets better.
It feels great. It's just really nice to be up
fresh
in Northern
air,
Ontario again. Yeah,
that's thick.
It's just a dreamy place to be. Like
a thick boreal forest.
Yeah.
The forest is thick around here.
Oh, yeah.
Old.
Some thick bush around here.
Yep. You ain't walking.
You can't say that.
You ain't walking.
You mean it that way.
I remember thinking, it's so funny, speaking of thick bushes, I remember in Esnagami when we were going through some of the forests there for the first time. Like, I'd never been that far north, like, for recreation and just looking. how dense the forest
dense,
was.
yeah.
It was, speaking of thick bush, bush was thick.
I remember, I think maybe I forget who I was with, one of the guys, and looking, we're like, how many bears you think are in there? He's like, oh yeah, there's lots.
Also, you do, right? Like, you could imagine just insane amounts of wildlife out there.
Oh,
I mean, we'll get to what we saw also.
Oh yeah, true.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, day one was great. I mean, it was like trying to glean as much information as possible from John, who was just lovely. You know, we spent a big day out. Dinner served at 6 o'clock at the lodge every day. Sharp, which is great meals. Shout out to Anne.
I don't know the name of the.
Well, he asked her, and she said, "You can call me either."
Oh,
so
okay, great.
She's that friendly and polite.
So heads up the kitchen here, and
yeah,
really, really great food.
Shout out Aidas.
it is not roughing it. It is.
No,
it
it's not.
is some good eating.
We're talking about soup. We're talking about first night we had. It was like Thanksgiving in the north. in
Yeah, we
Maine.
had a turkey dinner.
We had turkey dinner.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
All the
And
trimmings.
pumpkin pie
Oh,
yeah, all the trimmings
for dessert.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
awesome.
It's very
And
good.
then we headed out after dinner. But man, did the thunder started, and then the rain started, and we got soaked.
But that was when we went to the waterfall the first
Yes,
time.
this was a key
This is
point
a
of this
key
trip.
point.
Yeah.
John took us in. He's like, "Oh, you guys might like this waterfall. I'm gonna take you somewhere, a special spot." And he brought us up this, I guess, feeding situation into the,
Yeah.
into the lake. It's a long channel. We're driving up there, going up there. We're all getting really excited, being like, "Let's just fish this." He's like, "No, we're gonna keep going." We're just like, "Well, this looks good. This looks good." He's like, "Yeah. If it gets windy, you just come in here."
Yeah.
And then it's a nice little waterfall into a deep trough, and
Big
lot of
boulders.
current. Lot of
big
current.
boulders, a lot of
boulders,
current. You
dark,
guys got
tea-stained
onto
water.
some
Yeah.
fish pretty quick,
Really quick.
Oh, like
Yeah.
first or
First
second
cast.
cast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy.
First cast.
and
Yeah.
then the weather changed
It did.
Dramatically.
Mm.
very quickly, and we promptly left.
I also didn't bring a raincoat for the second time
forgot.
that day.
Rule number 1: never leave the dock
Yeah.
without a raincoat.
Yeah, I did
That
not.
is true. Never
bring my
leave
raincoat.
without a raincoat.
So
And
the
this
weather-
is the kind of rain that was like, even if you had a raincoat, you're getting soaked.
Well, and we it's funny
Yeah.
because we were watching it, and even John was just like, "Yeah, it's probably gonna start coming down," and it's funny because the fishing just turned off.
Yeah.
Like it was just over,
Lights
and we're like,
Yeah.
"Well," he's like, probably gonna rain," and then it's like a little sprinkle, and then we started booting out of there, and then it rained.
That was heavy rain.
That was
It hurt my face.
yes.
Yeah, it was hard to see driving.
Yeah,
the boat,
oh
to
yeah,
be
John was
honest,
getting pelted. You and me were just hunkered down,
Yeah.
We're
praying that
hunkered.
like covered up the camera equipment best we could. Made it back.
We
Yep.
did.
we did.
And that was
Very
day
wet.
one.
And then we
Very
dried out.
That was
Then we
it.
dried out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was day one. It was a great day. And then second day we woke up, and today we were going to do the Brookie Lake.
Mhm.
Oh,
So
yeah.
there is a lake here.
Mm-hmm.
It is stocked,
Yeah.
but infrequently.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the stocking schedule is.
Yeah, but it's stocked by the M&R.
Yep.
It's not stocked by the lodge here.
Yeah.
And it's kind of neat because it's almost like kind of in a way like Esnagami,
Mm.
where it's like kind of a mini trip.
Like a trip
Yeah.
within a trip.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
little
but-
day trip.
But it was like you mentioned Esnagami, you can get here on your own. Like
Oh, yeah, you
don't
can't-
need a guide
No.
to get into this Brookie Lake, whereas Esnagami you will literally die.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you cannot DIY that.
No, this was
This was awesome.
yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was on the way to the waterfall, which we would eventually finish for the rest of the day.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, it was super cool. Like we found the portage. The portage is like you were basically going up in elevation the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wore our waders.
Wore our way.
Yeah, we
That's an
made
important
that.
little tip if anyone's ever going to do this.
Oh yeah, you know what? That really came in handy.
It was
Yeah,
very
it
helpful.
really did.
You honestly like you could get away with big rubber boots getting up into that lake.
Yeah.
There's a wet trail.
Yeah.
It's a wet trail.
It's a wet trail.
That's a
Yeah.
wet trail.
Not to say you don't need waders,
Right.
No, you don't.
but
It was
some
nice,
water,
like-
waterproof
Yeah.
footwear.
Yeah.
It helped putting the boats in
Yeah,
water.
yeah.
and-
Definitely.
Definitely, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it really helped putting the boats in the
Yeah.
water.
Yeah, that's a good point. So they actually had boats there
Yep.
with motors, everything else. The only thing we had to bring in was a jerry can of gas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The walk itself, incline for a little bit,
Yes.
and then totally fine the rest of the way. There's a
Mhm.
bit
No,
of
it's
a
like
trail.
it was like a 10-15 minute walk.
Eight-
Yeah, exactly.
No big deal.
Less than that even.
Yeah.
Really, right?
And then we're like getting the boats in, and kind of distracted by that, trying to shoot that as well. everyone was on the cameras,
Yeah.
which was kind of cool.
Yep.
Everyone was
working.
everyone was fishing and everyone was on a camera. So
Yep.
that's pretty
Yeah.
neat. And then anyway, I digress. And I look up for half a second and I'm like, holy shit, there's a moose swimming right in front of us. Like not, I don't know, 100 feet from the boat launch. There's just this moose
Swimming in the lake.
Swimming in the lake. I was like, moose.
There's a moose.
Moose.
Aldo freaked out.
Yeah.
I did freak out.
Aldo's
Well,
freaking
it's
out.
been a long
He's still
time
freaking
since I've seen a moose
Yeah.
not on the road. Which
Yeah.
we did see some moose on the drive up.
Yeah, we did see.
We didn't see it.
We saw a deer.
And I've never seen. I almost hit a deer.
Yeah,
you
we
did
know.
almost
We saw
hit a
that
deer.
one.
Yeah.
You saw what?
The moose that you guys saw.
Remember when we were like just after Sault Ste. Marie and that deer jumped out in
Oh
front?
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was close.
That was a close one.
Yeah.
But anyway, but I'm like, I'd never
careful.
seen a moose swimming before.
Isn't it amazing how much of them is out of the water?
Yeah.
Like their head?
Yeah.
Like-
it looks like a sailboat out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Like,
Was it you and me or me and someone was talking about like how fast are their legs moving?
Yeah,
under the
yeah,
water?
that's
Like
what I was talking
they are
about.
they are moving at a clip.
We all
Yeah.
know what a moose looks like. Their
Yeah.
legs are pretty skinny.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
how much thrust is it generating in the water?
they're moving pretty fast though.
Not very aquadynamic.
Circles?
No, you wouldn't think it'd be a good swimmer.
That would be so.
It's actually doing the breaststroke under the water.
Yeah, basically.
Boy, can they swim!
So that was
Yeah.
a cool kind of intro.
Oh,
Yeah.
I always get super pumped when I see like big wildlife like that.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
That was such a like,
Large
okay, we were like in a very wild place.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's
Well-
loons all over the place. There's bald eagles all over the lake, like
Yeah.
both lakes. It's amazing. So Rock Lake is a pretty small lake and named
Named-
very
and
apt.
accurately.
Yeah.
Terry
Because
said
there's
he'd
rocks.
never seen a moose there. He couldn't believe that we saw a moose on Rock Lake.
Well, there you go.
Oh, well, there you
Yeah.
go.
That was interesting.
When we come to town, you see moose.
That's right.
So, yeah,
A lot
we
of rock.
get there to Rock Lake. Lots of rocks.
Yeah.
And I don't, of the fly fishing skills I have,
Mm-hmm.
stillwater trout is probably at the very bottom.
I think that's a lot of people.
Actually, underneath that would be carp because I've never done it before. But aside from that, it's stillwater trout.
Yeah, you got to go hang out with Matt for the carp, but
Yeah, I don't really know it that well.
yeah.
But
that's
turns out Nick tied the exact fly we needed.
Well, I creeped
Mhm.
the internet for information, and so I may have had a
Did his
insider tip
homework.
there.
Highly recommend creeping the internet for all your
Oh, that's
information.
that's the place to find fishing information.
Name.
Not going out to the river
And
and
that
spending
information
time
was
yourself to learn
confirmed.
stuff.
That information was confirmed both on the train coming up here and by John when we got
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
all referring to the exact same
Fly
fly.
pattern.
Wait, is that what
Yeah.
you were tying on the train?
No, because that
Oh,
fly,
okay.
I would have liked to have tied that fly, but
So
it makes a
dear.
lot of mess.
Yeah,
It's not a
And I
train
was like,
fly.
that's not a good train fly. So
that's not a good train. fly.
Well, what
Yeah.
was the fly?
Yeah, what'd you
what
tell
was I tying?
No, I mean like what would you tie for the lake?
Oh, the fly was a black woolly sculpin,
Mm.
or it's essentially Kelly Gallup's version of the shank sculpin, which is the baseline pattern. Best way to describe it would be just a number 4 streamer hook. Tie a black woolly bugger on it, but before you tie off your thread at the end, put a big muddler head on the top end.
Mm.
Cool.
Yeah.
And
It's a good looking fly.
It was a good
Yeah, I
looking
mean,
fly.
it's a great fly for all kinds of fish. It's actually one of the I don't know,
It could be a good brook trout.
it's a great brown trout fly.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know. I fished them for 20 years, something like that. Like when the zoo cougar and the woolly sculpin, those 2 flies were my favorite flies for a long time.
Hmm. There you go.
Yeah.
Well-
So anyway, when the my internet research revealed that the woolly sculpin was a good fly, I started tying up lots.
Oh
and,
yeah, you stocked up.
I went down to the dock and had John approve of them.
Yeah.
And he was pretty fired
Yeah.
up about
You
it.
always need the guide. When
Yeah.
you get the
Oh, yeah.
guide's
I
approval,
wanted
Yeah.
guide approval. I need
Yeah.
that
yeah,
for
how
my
many did you tie
confidence.
up?
Oh, at least a dozen.
Yeah,
we all
Yeah.
brought like a ton.
we brought a lot of.
We all
flies.
brought a ton of flies, as we normally do, because you never know what's going to work.
And
you
how
know?
many
Yeah.
flies did we use?
One.
Yeah.
For the pike and also for. We have these awesome game changers that I got for Esnagami. Okay, let's finish the trout lake story.
Yeah.
So we get to the trout lake. We're putting around. You
You guys stole all my flies.
we stole all of Nick's flies because,
We're terrible people.
and I
And he's a
had
great
black.
person.
I had black Sculpin type flies, but it wasn't that one. And John was just so amped on your fly that I had to use it.
Said it was
So-
mint.
Huh?
He said it was mint. That's what he
Oh,
told
he
me.
Whoa.
said that.
Yeah, he said that.
You're just telling
Damn.
us now.
Yeah, I know.
Oh
I was
my
like,
God.
oh,
Oh
man.
my
That
God.
boosted my confidence immediately.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that just boosted my confidence immediately as soon as I had that. But
So Jolie and Nick were sharing a boat that day, and I was with the big man.
Yeah, but
Hey?
wait, you were both fishing the same fly?
Oh,
Yeah, not okay. So hang on, not initially.
oh, actually, Aidas had those cool flies that he tied.
Okay, but which fly did you catch yours on?
you're not gonna like the answer.
Which fly did you catch yours on?
So hang on. So I did hook a fish.
Yeah.
In the first little spot we went to. So we were kind of we got into that lake and
We don't know.
We were kind of going blind. We were like it was pretty windy, so we were just sheltering from wind and we're like fishing rocky points. So I've dived a little bit. I've been dabbling in fly tying over the winter.
Understatement of the
Dabble.
year.
Understatement.
A little bit.
He's been mass producing
Obsessive
killer flies
and
all winter.
Successful, yeah.
Yeah, your flies look great, man.
Oh, thank you.
I didn't
That
like
means a lot.
because you send me iPhone pictures, but
I know.
seeing them all
Mhm.
in one place at one time, feeling them, touching, look at them.
Yeah.
I
It's
like
awesome.
watching you touch them.
That's why
Makes
I
it all
tied
work.
them.
Yeah. But no,
So-
your flies are amazing. Sorry, go on.
So I like this strategy on these group trips. Everyone was fishing the same fly, and I figured, well, until someone catches a fish, we don't really know what's going to work. But we know like with the woolly sculpin, the thing that you were saying is like it moves water. That's
Yeah.
the big thing. It's got a
got
big
big
deer head,
head.
moves water, right? So I tried to find something around the same size, and I went totally opposite. I went bright flash white. I don't know. The fly I made doesn't have a name. I don't know what it is. And so I hooked a fish on it in that first spot. I had a follow, grabbed at the tail, and then I hooked one, lost it. And so I was like, oh, I'm just gonna leave this on. This is great. And I did put on a white Zuddler for a bit. Deer hair, same situation.
Good idea.
We didn't get any more fish. We were just kind of bouncing around.
Yeah.
And then Aldo hooked a fish on the woolly sculpin. And then I immediately put on a woolly
You know,
sculpin
we had
and caught
been
a
there
fish.
for, we had been there for like 20 minutes, and Aidas had those two fish on. I was like, okay, well, this is a good sign. I think, but then it did not go anywhere.
No, I did.
And
See,
it was
I did see
really tough
that
fishing.
first
Yeah,
fish,
It was,
which was cool.
that's awesome.
Seeing like little brook trout following your fly, like that was cool.
That's fun.
Yeah.
So we'd been bouncing around this lake. It was not a big lake, trying to stay out of the wind, sort of, trying to, I don't know, fish, whatever, sort of. And then, I it'd been like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, I don't think this is going to happen. And then we were, on one wind drift.
Yeah, we were. I think it's like whatever all the things that everyone says about fishing. Like we were downwind on a rocky drop off, and we started
Yeah, it's
catching
like-
fish.
Yeah, John's like, the wind's going to blow the bait into one area, so go to that shoreline.
Yeah, we're hiding from the wind.
We're like hiding from
We're
the
in
wind, doing
little
exactly
bays.
the opposite of what he said to do. And then when we started drifting this wind-blown bay, within 5 minutes, I'm hooked up.
Yeah.
And I was like, sick.
Yeah.
Sweet relief.
And those brookies were they were rowdy.
They're strong, eh?
Oh,
They were
yeah, they were
strong.
They're really
Brookies.
thick fish. So.
And then,
Yeah.
they were thick. It was like, I think I got a nice little 14, 15
yeah.
incher. And then we kept going, same wind drift. Aidas picked one up.
Yep.
And then we decided to have some lunch, and that's when we ran into you. And you guys picked one up.
Yeah, we got one. It was same kind of story, right? Just like right there in the bay.
Mm-hmm.
Pause.
You're still rolling.
Yeah, that one has to stop.
And
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, so same sort of story. Like we hit a bay, and I took that black woolly sculpin, chucked it out there. I had a fish boil around it almost immediately.
Oh,
So,
really?
holy smokes, there's fish in this lake, right? And I missed the fish. I was kind of like, oh man, was that my one shot at a nice brook trout on this northern lake? Put it right back out there, and then bang, fish on.
So
Fish
we.
on.
Fish on.
Fish out.
Were you guys in like where you were supposed to be, or you were in like a little bay?
It was it was like it definitely wasn't the windy side, like
Yeah.
you're saying.
No, yeah, it wasn't.
It wasn't windy at all. We were enjoying the comforts of no wind.
The
But it was
comforts
this
of
like
no wind.
really rocky area, and I guess you could call it a small point.
Yeah,
That we're
Yeah.
basically fishing, but the lake is
Bouldery.
full of rocks, and like there's these huge car-sized boulders, and
Yeah.
I mean it's not hard to picture where these fish have to hide.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was on the same fly that the guide had recommended,
And we were all fishing sinking lines, right? I think.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had Type 5 on.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, and it's cool. Like when you fish a Type 5 line, and a big buoyant fly like a woolly sculpin,
Oh yeah.
deer-headed fly, that fly sits pretty high in the water column. When you strip it, it's actually going to dive down quite a bit.
Yeah. What'd you call that?
I've heard people describe it as reverse jigging.
Yeah.
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 It's a good technique.
I may have been trolling, but whatever.
Yeah, it's not trolling. I'm not.
No, I was trolling.
Oh, you're.
Oh, yeah.
But the wind was
Wind.
helping me troll.
Okay. I mean, that's cool.
That's what comp guys
That's
do.
That's exactly what the comp guys do.
Yeah.
We need a drogue. That's what we needed.
That's
on that
what we
lake.
needed. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a hard time with the wind, but we caught brook trout.
Yep.
Yeah, that felt like 3 brook trout in like a morning of fishing.
Yeah.
I don't know where
I
you're
think
from,
that-
but I call that pretty good for
Yeah.
stillwater brook trout
There
fishing.
you go.
Me too, especially on a lake
Yeah.
you don't know.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
those were fun fish.
Yeah.
The one like I think yours you got yours in pretty quick.
Well,
My-
it hit really hard and then did that brooking thing where it doesn't really fight that much.
Yeah.
But yours was
Mine went wild. I honestly I was freaking out. I thought it was like we were fishing 7 weights. Were you on a 7 weight too?
I had 7 weight.
Yeah, like
10'7".
10'7".
Nice.
Great
9'7",
still water
but-
alone.
And yeah, I thought I was in my head. I'm like that thing hit, and so all those hit really hard. Mine was like it kind of felt like a steelhead, like nibble, 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 and then boof, and it was on. And the thing was peeling line off, like it was going.
Wow.
And I thought for sure it was gonna be a monster.
Tank, yeah.
And it was like good sized brook trout. Don't get me
Oh,
wrong.
yeah, yeah.
Like we're used to catching brook trout on the credit, so like anything over 8 inches is like
Right.
Yeah,
a
Brook-
trophy.
Brookies
I didn't
are-
see pictures of these yet.
They look great. He was showing them to me today. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Joel. I got one right here.
I didn't
Yeah.
ask before.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Well,
sorry.
no, I want to see it now.
Oh, okay.
Can we?
They're
sorry.
stunning fish, man.
Yeah,
Uh,
there was.
Anytime you catch a brookie,
They were. I
Yeah.
was trying to just like get mine in the net, jumped out of the net. It's like
shallow nets.
Shallow nets. Yeah.
Shallow
No,
net,
I
yeah.
wanted my net. I wanted my own net.
You're on trout net, yeah.
Yeah, but that was. A
Oh
lot
wow!
of fun.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Yeah.
I was going to show the camera for everybody
What a-
watching on.
What a beaut!
I guess you have manual focus.
Yeah.
I
basically have to hold
Show it to that one.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so that was day 2 morning, and then day 2 afternoon we just spent basically at that waterfall and then hopping around to different little
Yeah.
sheltered bays, and man, we were banging pike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great.
Like we were trying to figure out what do we decide we were catching a day? 40, 50.
450
Yeah.
pike a day,
Yeah.
maybe more.
Like it was
lot.
messed
it was
up.
a lot. Like we
Can't
were
really
we were
count
boating.
My
around.
arm hurts.
Yeah, my
Your
arm
arm?
legitimately hurts, and I have like sore spots on my stomach from
on your
like
tummy.
Yeah,
the button there. We're just like jeez.
On your tummy, wummy.
Yeah, I do need a tummy warming, please. I'm talking a big tummy rub game.
We used one fly the whole time. I figured out in Estegami for some reason they did not like the giant flies, and they weren't liking the giant flies here either. And I was like, I'm gonna put a
I
jig
don't
in.
know about that. Not okay. Not
I mean,
giant flies.
you get one.
They were eating other flies.
Yeah, yeah.
They were eating
Yeah.
other flies. You were.
But
I'm not saying.
you're looking
we're-
at
I'm not
purely
saying
look-
we weren't catching fish
Yeah.
on other flies.
Just look at the
Yeah.
number. Like
I'm just
pure
saying, like
numbers.
you put a game changer on.
Oh,
you know what I'm
listen,
saying?
that's the
And
one to put on.
We also realized the color of the game changer is not that important.
Not
No.
relevant.
I will say, we still had some of those awesome game changers from Chloe Nostran in Yellowstone. At George Anderson's Yellowstone Angler. And they just have these amazing hooks.
Oh man,
We're all on the we're all loving the hooks because I mean, when a pike takes the fly, sometimes they take it a little bit deep, and it can be kind of tricky to remove it. And so having a single hook, they were all single barbless too,
Yep.
which was very much appreciated. They're a really wide, thick hook,
Yeah.
so they don't get them that deep. And like, I can't remember who it was that said it, but a lot of the bigger fish just got pegged right in the corner of the mouth every
Yeah.
time, and that was just awesome.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like
We
you
had a
would
lot
have
of
to
fish that-
stick your hand down there and get all grazed. I mean, I know you did anyway, Aldo,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, well, that was
That was-
dumb.
I mean,
Yeah.
there was a good chunk of fish that like once you got them in the net, they just came off the hook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the smaller ones, you could just take. You didn't have to net them. You just like get them, pop the hook off a pair of pliers.
Yeah,
done.
like you lose fish, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
At a place like
You
this, when
didn't
you're
lose
catching
many
so
of
At
them.
many,
that point,
yeah.
and how are those flies so durable? Like those, they're
I don't
still
know.
great
going.
question.
They're still going,
Yeah.
right? And I mean, even with the pliers and reefing on them out of the
Oh,
teeth
yeah.
and everything, like,
okay.
oh my
Still
goodness,
eyes on
yeah, the eyes, yeah.
Not
some
anymore.
of them don't have eyes. Some of them
They lost a lot
but
of eyes this trip.
That's fair, but like I don't know, like the material stays on. Like if
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a feather or a hair fly, like you're definitely
Yeah.
destroying that.
Chloe, we're getting more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna get some messages from
We
me,
gotta-
Chloe. I need a material list and hook. I need to know this hook
Yeah, I want to know what
Yeah.
that hook is.
and where I can get it.
It's nice to have nice friends in other
Yeah.
city towns, fly fishy towns. You
Oh,
know,
that's the best. And sharing fly patterns with friends, that's the
the
best, right?
Friendship
it was just
pattern.
it was such an amazing day, and you know, we capped it all off. And Nick, you got a beautiful pike.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
great way to end the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
little post
Yeah.
dinner.
Yeah, it was really calm. We were doing a little, I don't know, we just kind of went into a random bay.
Yeah, we took a bit of a
Yeah.
shotgun approach that night. I think.
Yeah, we
We
were
just hit a bunch of
Hey,
bays.
that
Wait, was that
like-
after dinner?
Yeah, yeah,
It was after dinner?
Yeah, it was the after dinner.
yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yeah,
no,
it
because we
definitely
wore
was.
the bug suit out after dinner.
That's right.
Oh,
It
that's
was
right.
just
You
before
You were
dinner.
in your waders.
just
You
before
were in
dinner.
your
was in my
waders and
waders.
t-shirt,
I was in
bud.
my waders.
I was
yeah.
wrong.
Yeah, we went into like the shallowest bay. Like
Just kept pushing back and back.
yeah,
and back.
and I think we knew that the day was done, so we weren't really like, oh, let's get out of here and go find somewhere new. I think you had just got a fish.
Yeah, I
you
think
hooked
so.
up.
Smallest one.
You got
Fish
you got a
on?
really tiny little
Smallest fish of the
a
trip.
very small little missile.
Yeah.
And,
Little missile.
Yeah, and then I don't know. I just kept casting, and I don't know. We were probably only in a foot of water or so, 2 feet of
Yeah,
water, and
probably.
yeah, really good pike. I didn't see the take on this one, but felt the weight. And then because we've been catching a lot of smaller pike through the day, this one just kind of stayed down, and I couldn't see it right away. And I knew, oh yeah, that's probably a good
That's
one.
a
Good
fish.
fish.
Yeah, and then yeah,
Jolie
like
took a banging
my
photo.
call when something like this happens is good fish, good fish, good,
Good
fish.
fish, good fish, good
Get
fish.
very serious all of a sudden.
You do get serious. I
Yeah.
noticed that.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
that's
When
good
we
fish.
even
That's
when
good
you
fish.
spot a good one, you're like fish, good fish. Fish.
well, like, what can I say?
Here goes the
It's serious
joking.
time. No more
Yeah.
joking.
No, it's true.
No more joking. Yeah.
Because there's a lot of joking.
Small fish joking is allowed.
Yeah.
Big fish,
98%
no
joking.
Yeah, it's 98%. Fish on.
It ain't no joke. when
So
it's
that
big
was
one around.
that was an awesome way to finish day 2.
Yeah.
And
And-
honestly, day 3 was a lot like the back half of day 2. We woke up to just a beautiful day.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Got
So
hot.
sunny. We went to Bear Creek, which was cool.
That was
Yeah.
super cool.
You know, very narrow creek. You know, that dumps into the lake, of course. And just watching pike fin and swim and hold in current like
Yeah.
they're salmon or trout.
Yeah,
Just
that
like
was
cruising
wild.
lanes, like up and down.
Joel, you were freaking roping them,
Man.
but this morning
We blasted a lot of fish in the
Yeah.
first like half hour.
you were
We
calling
could hear
your
you guys.
shots.
Oh yeah, we could see them coming. It
Yeah.
was great.
It
was just like Texas.
Yeah. Nick and I kind of hung back fishing like.
Like
So-
the creek S bends, so we couldn't see each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I noticed here, like, with a lot of the bays have a ton of down trees, like, it's like,
Yeah.
A ton.
like a ton of.
We
down
saw
trees.
a tree fall today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like there's like stumps and trees everywhere, and so we were getting into this little creek system, and so Nick and I were hanging back because it's like looked very pikey back there. It's shallow water, a lot of grass, a lot of down
grass.
trees. And we're like, we should probably fish this. We were doing a little, I was doing a little R&D on some flies, you know.
Yeah.
And we hear these two up there hollering. We're like, well,
Especially Aldo. I feel like
Yeah.
you hear Aldo across the lake.
yeah. So we're-
Aldo was cheering me on all morning.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
All day.
He's
Yeah.
the best hype man ever, man.
Yeah.
number one hype man. Yeah, so we figured we'd probably shoot up there and see what all the fuss was about. And the fuss was lots of fish.
Yeah.
They were, you know, like we were saying, like, you know, we didn't. Maybe one broke 30.
Yeah.
You know, so they weren't the biggest fish in the world, but you know, when can you cast a pike in moving
Crystal
water?
clear,
Yeah.
moving
Crystal
water.
clear tea,
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
beautiful
yeah, yeah.
tea-stained water.
That was
And
so
the
cool.
take, even on the small ones, the take is awesome.
So
Yeah.
this is something we've talked about before of like pike that are in current. Like we experienced this in Esnagami and Betty Falls. The pike that were in this moving water, they're stronger. Like
Yeah,
they're just stronger. And
Yeah,
it's like
totally.
they grab it and then they go.
Yeah,
And you're like, oh, this is a huge fish. And you're like, oh, okay, it's not that big, but it's a very strong fish.
Yeah.
yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
And swinging for pike? Come on.
Ooh.
Cool. Yeah, we were swinging for pike.
There may have been some spay casting happening. We don't
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, that was fun, man.
That was
Like,
fun.
Then we kind of got up ahead and we kind of tied ourselves to a tree as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah,
just
that was a
sat-
good
we just
move.
sat
Yeah,
there for a while
that
and
was
just caught
dope.
a million pike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I guess we'll go somewhere else, catch
Yeah.
pike down the river.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like, you know, that old adage, like, don't leave fish to find more fish, but it's like there's fish everywhere.
Yeah.
Literally everywhere.
Literally everywhere.
There are a few bigger fish in there too, though.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
we saw Joel and I, especially on the way in, we were like, we saw some.
Cruised over
Yeah.
pretty big fish.
You broke one off, Joel? Is that what happened?
Yeah, we broke off a bigger one.
Yeah.
That was my bad though.
No, I don't. Was your bad? What choice did you have?
I don't know, but when I grabbed the leader, it snapped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, at the mouth of that river, I was bringing in my line, and then I stopped, and I went to go turn the motor on, and then Aidas was like, look, or whatever.
Oh,
you call it.
yeah. We saw
And
one cruising.
That was like one was cruising right behind my fly.
We're
My
trying to
fly wasn't even moving, and then it was
Yeah.
just like staring at it.
Yeah,
And
examining.
if I just gave it a few twitches,
Yeah.
it would have been on it.
that
but
was
yeah.
that was a good size.
that was a
fish.
very, very good size fish. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know.
we saw some beefers. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if
that
it's
was a
anything like
solid
Esnagami, like I'm just saying, regurgitating what Eric would say there, it's not that you can't catch the really
Yeah.
big ones at this time of year, because of course you certainly can.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But until that cabbage grows and they all get concentrated,
Well, even the
they can be anywhere.
No,
John was saying like we needed to, if we were specifically targeting big fish, which like I don't think we were. I think we were just looking to have a good time.
Yeah.
Then you'd be wanting to fish like 6 to 8 feet of water right now, which is
Yep.
by no means deep. That's
No,
pretty
no.
shallow.
Yeah.
I think like obviously we had some wind going on, and it's just not as much. We weren't having as much fun on the windy shoals and stuff.
No,
like,
no.
Yeah.
Like way more fun.
It's hard to hold the boat.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
It is. It is. And
And like you both want to be fishing. Like
Yeah.
when you're
Yeah.
two people on
Yeah.
a boat, you both want to be fishing.
yeah.
Totally.
Totally.
But that creek system
Was awesome.
Oh.
the highlight of the
so
day
neat.
for sure.
Oh, highlight of the day today for sure. Except for the steaks.
Ooh.
Steaks were
We'll
good.
get to that later.
Well, we can do it now.
All right, we had steaks for dinner.
And my first twice baked potato.
Yeah.
That was a solid double stuffed.
That was your
Yeah.
first?
I think that was my first twice baked potato. Yeah.
Wow.
I can't believe you guys didn't talk about the pickle plate.
Oh man.
Oh well, I didn't.
Okay,
I thought we were
I've
gonna
never
do a
seen so
separate
many-
We gotta
section
circle
later
back,
about the
circle
pickle
back.
plate.
But like your favorite part of the trip, and you guys would say
Day
pickle plate?
one.
Well, actually, that's a good segue.
Yeah.
Because the trip's over.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're leaving tomorrow morning on a float plane.
That's right.
So that's pretty cool.
Did
We
you
got the
have
train
pickles on?
in and the flight out.
I know. It's been a long
Living the dream.
time since I've been on a float plane.
Well, you're getting on one tomorrow
I can't
morning.
wait.
Afraid of it?
No.
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 I
Are
couldn't
you
tell if,
afraid?
The
of
last
it?
time I was on a float
couldn't
plane.
tell if you were like, yeah, it's been a while.
No. I'm pumped. The last time I was on a float plane, it crashed though.
What?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, like
Bury the lead.
crash is like a loose term, but we were trying
did
to
it
take
fall
off
out
of
of
a
the
river.
sky?
Yeah.
No, it didn't get into the sky.
Oh.
And we were trying to take off out of a river, and we ran up onto the riverbank.
Oh, that's not right.
Whoa.
That won't happen tomorrow.
That's not what you're supposed to do.
No.
No.
That's
Anyway.
definitely.
That's incorrect
It's not
plane
the
usage.
plan.
No, it wasn't good.
That was not a plane from
Yeah.
Lodge 88.
It was
Yeah.
definitely not.
Definitely
It
not
was
here.
those Nunavut planes.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
Wow, in Nunavut.
yeah.
That's a whole other
Anyway,
podcast.
well, yeah.
Great trip, you guys.
Great trip.
Great
Stellar.
trip. That was
Yeah.
It was a fast and furious one. We had
Yep.
to drive
Yeah.
up 10 hours. We fished for 2.5 days. We barely slept because we did something we don't normally do on these trips, which is fish after dinner.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
we're just trying to get into more
Yeah.
fish and content and stuff. You guys shot a lot. Thank you so much for doing that. The videos, the
Yeah.
photos are all amazing. I'm sure by now. I think this episode is going to come out on June 15th. It is now May 31st, but this episode is going to come out on June 15th. So I'm sure by now we're going to have populated our Instagram with awesome photos from all these three guys,
Yeah.
and probably some videos and some Instagram reels as well. So go check those out. And of course, if you're listening to this, you can also see it on YouTube. So you can see the cabin and our dumb faces, and you can also see how riddled with black fly bites Nick is. Nick, you are coated,
Yeah.
dude.
I got
I-
annihilated. I got
I
annihilated.
keep
by
looking over at his neck while I was
It is not
very
monkeypox,
distracting.
everybody.
Promise
It
it's
is
not
not
monkeypox,
monkeypox.
He just got.
No.
They favored him.
black fly pox.
Yeah, they like
Favorite part of the trip, Aidas, or a standout moment? Because obviously we're not going to do in Mitch's Fishies 5. You guys have all done that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean,
Do you have one, Aldo, already? Because then we can all.
Do I have one?
Yeah, then we can think about.
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I think this morning was a really special morning.
Yeah, that was
I think
cool.
that was a really cool thing that I'd never seen before.
Yeah.
And I will also say the drive up was pretty cool because that was another first.
Yeah.
Obviously the lodge is beautiful and the food and hanging out with you guys is amazing. But if I was going to pick out a moment, this morning was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That and the creek on the first day, just like anytime you can look at a fish, cast to it and see it eat or behave, even if it doesn't eat.
So cool.
You're like, why didn't that eat?
Yeah.
Or, oh my God, that ate. Why did it eat? And that other one didn't.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's always a fun thing for us because if you're just chucking into a dark, vast abyss waiting for something, you don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
There could be 14 fish looking at your fly being like, I don't want to eat that.
Yeah.
And you don't know.
Yeah.
So this morning is Nick, please.
Yeah, I got mine.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it happened again. I remember when Matt and I were going to Nipigon, I was like, oh yeah, I want to catch brook trout. And then I started pike fishing, and I was like, what's a brook trout? Like, I ain't wasting my time with brook trout.
Yeah.
And then same thing again. I remember when we were talking about this trip, we were like, oh man, huge brook trout in the back lake, right? And like by a couple hours of spending the time on Rock Lake, I was like, oh no, I want to fish pike.
Yeah, we left brook trout fishing to go fish pike.
Yeah, because we were all having lunch. We're like, so we're good.
Yeah. I spent a lot of time. Like I'm always thinking like, what's my favorite species? What do I like to fish for and stuff, right? How do I want to fish? How will I get the most enjoyment out of my fishing today, right? Especially when you have limited time, which I usually do, to get out fishing. So then at one point in the trip, and I think it was when you and I were in that first little tiny creek, I was like, man, pike fishing is the absolute best.
It's so much fun.
And what I mean by that is like, it's so visual. I love streamer fishing for brown trout and for trout in general. Streamer fishing is awesome. I like the visual aspect of it. I like that the fish are big and that the fish are strong. And man, there's just something about pike fishing that is just so fun. It's just fun. And I want to go pike fishing every year now. Like I'm gonna make it an annual. That's it.
Boom.
Yeah. I'm a pike guy, ladies and gentlemen. That's
Hey, he's a pike guy.
I'm gonna put a label on.
We got a pike guy right here.
We got a pike guy. We got a pike guy.
There's a pike guy here.
I will say, I think Aidas said it in the boat. You when we were sharing the boat the second day. Few fish garnered the same reaction over and over and over again. Like we're not trying to toot our horns here. Like this is a northern lake. It's populated with very aggressive fish. We were caught over 100, 150 fish maybe this whole trip.
Yeah.
But every single time somebody said something.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't like, here's another one. It was like, woo!
Yeah,
or like,
exactly.
or like, oh god damn! You know, like it was always like this like amazing reaction to it. And that's pike fishing. Like the maybe the fight isn't the craziest thing, but the initial hit.
Sometimes it is.
Sometimes it's very crazy.
Yeah.
But it's not, but right away when they hit, it's
Fish
on.
on.
It's on. Fish on.
Yeah.
Joel, favorite standout moment?
Well, you
Breakfast baconator, maybe?
I wish. No, you kind of took the words out of my mouth. This pike fishing is so amazing. I won't even try to, do better than you in explaining why. But, yeah, I mean, pike have been my favorite fish for a long time. I think, just been looking forward to coming back to fish pike for a long time. And this trip did not disappoint. I got that feeling that we were just discussing so many times in the last few days. It
really it worked out so well that you came here. Aldo and I were texting back and forth a lot before this trip, trying to figure out
how do we get Joel?
How do we get Joel up here? Who's gonna come with us? It's like, okay, Nixon. We're like, we gotta get Joel. And we're texting Joel. Like, come on, Joel, you gotta come up here, man. It's gonna be great.
A little longer.
You and I have been friends quite a long time, and it's like we haven't seen each other in a long time, and this is like a really good way.
Absolutely.
To hang out.
Well, the other thing I was gonna say was getting to spend a full day in a boat with each of you guys
with the
separately.
boys.
Yeah,
that's always fun.
I was gonna say that too, but I knew that Joel, big-hearted Joel here, was gonna probably say that. So
a little boat rotation.
I mean,
nice guy, Joel.
That's always the best.
Yeah,
getting to hang out on the boat. I mean, time on the water is always good
that
time.
And the choppy waves. Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Ooh, it was a little spicy today.
Boopy?
we
Was
had
that
a
what
little
we're saying?
It was a few boops.
So apparently, this lake is known for its wind,
Yes.
and today showed us why.
Yeah.
Yes. I
Aidas,
thought of my
standouts?
answer.
You got it?
I got it.
Lay it on.
So I think my favorite moment is like a lot. There was a process getting up here, right? It was a thing. getting here. And then we got in the boat, and then John's like, we're going for a 45-minute run. We're like, all right, more moving.
Keep the commuting going.
And then we got up there, and he's like, all right, in there. And that first like cast, it's like, so it's end of May right now. So we've been fishing brown trout in the credit, 5 weights, like small tippet, very gentle presentations. Picking up the 10 weight, putting on a big hunk of beef, and lobbing it into, lobbing it right into the grass. Yeah. And having that pike eat for the first, like, it's been a year since I fished for pike. And it's been like, oh, okay, here we go. And just doing that was really fun. And like, also like, as a new fly tire, it's really cool exploring, like seeing flies in the water, seeing how fish react to them, and like catching fish on them. Amazing, super fun. And you're like, okay, it was a lot of R&D, which was really cool for me.
Yeah, these streamers look pretty good.
And the Brook Trout too. I mean, like they respond to your fly too.
I don't have a name for that fly, or that style of fly. I don't know what that's called.
The Rock Lake Special.
We'll think of
something better.
That sucked.
The fly that cannot be named.
Yeah, but you gotta hook me up with
The Swimming Moose.
Oh, that's a good name.
That's wicked.
That's a good name.
You gotta hook me up with some of those disco minnows, though, please.
That's a good
Also-
one. That's not my fly though.
Also,
know,
we
but
did
it
see
looked
a
great.
second swimming
yeah, we did
moose
see a
that
second.
same
Oh,
day.
yeah.
Well,
That was so weird. Like I was like,
Yeah.
Is that it?
was yesterday.
another moose?
Is that a moose?
Yeah. And then it just turned its head and the ears. I was like, yeah, that's another swimming
There's a
moose.
moose.
Anyway, guys, that was a great trip. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome.
Thanks to Aidas. Thanks, Joel. Thanks, Nick.
Thank you.
Okay, no kisses.
Thank God.
And of course, thanks to the lovely, staff here at Lodge 88.
Big
Again,
time.
John is a fantastic guide. Terry, you're a fantastic host. Annie, you're a fantastic cook. And we didn't see a lot of behind the scenes. Andrew, the boat,
Yep.
or the dock hand.
Dockmaster.
Dockmaster.
Northern Lights photographer.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Talented
Yes, there are
astrophotographer.
Cute dog owner.
Lily the dog, and I'm sure there's a bunch of people behind the scenes that we're not seeing here. Like, I don't know, we came back to our rooms and they were clean every day, so I'm
course.
assuming somebody's doing
God
that.
bless whoever took
And
on
then,
that.
I'm so sorry about that,
Oy.
because I'm not used to that on fishing trips. So
Yeah.
the room was a little
Fresh
spicy.
towels every day.
And of course, thanks to Rob and all of his team at ALGOMA Country. And ALGOMA Tourism, Discover Ontario, because that's who made the trip happen, and I'm so glad it did, because we get to keep exploring this province that I love more and more every year.
Yeah, people
Amen,
got to
man.
get up here.
Yeah.
You gotta get up here.
Cheers,
Yeah.
guys.
Cheers.
Doink.
Doink, doink,
Delayed doink.
doink. There you go.
That was a good one. Another good one in the books. Nick, I'm so sorry that most of the blood has been drained out of your body.
Oh, it's
You're looking a little pale.
it's a worthwhile donation. I'm not looking pale. That's the sun
No,
too.
yeah.
So I
Well,
don't
that's
know
the
what
other
you
thing. It
mean.
was hot as hell.
It was
hot?
it was like 30 degrees today, man. So
Because the sun was nuking.
it was really hot. But no, I'm
So,
glad to
get some
donate a little
sun
bit of
shirts.
blood to the northern blackfly population. And yeah, guys, thanks for having me. I had an absolutely banger of a time.
Oh, so much fun.
Only thing that could make it better is if Mitch and Yilma are here as well.
Hell yeah. So thanks to Mitch and Yilma for holding down the fort back home.
Absolutely.
And this will be out June 15th. So you're listening to this. Again, you can see it on YouTube, but you can also get it wherever you get podcasts, which of course is like iTunes and Spotify and all that good stuff. And hey, if you're thinking of booking a trip up here, please send us an email, info@slowfly.ca. We'd be happy to pass along any kind of information, fly choices, et cetera,
Spoiler alert.
that you might want. Spoiler alert, you need 2.
At least.
At least. 2 patterns, 30 of each.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm gonna tie 1,000 game changers.
All right.
Holy.
That's a wrap
Yeah.
from Lodge 88.
Ciao, ciao, all.
Bye.
Bye.